trigger button for 10 seconds and probably kill hundreds of people, right? Just like that. And then the tanks, they not only, like Christian said, shot and gave out bombs and they were shooting, but they're very hard to stop, right? That's
they run over people.
No, very few windows. Maybe there's something up in that you can look up.
And they're fast also.
Fast. Yeah, they move quick.
And they don't have wheels. They don't have wheels like cars. They have treads. So we're going to see if they can go over anything and anyone.
For similarity, I was going to put that in the 1800s, this was when Napoleon started wars.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now Napoleon is no longer there,
He died.
but they're still starting wars. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, they're still starting problems for our
What
country.
happened to Napoleon was still alive?
Wait, is that country? Is that?
I mean, he's still alive. I mean, he would be not really able to do anything. He's so old.
But he would die like 83.
Yeah.
Natural causes.
That's
That's basically natural causes.
Plus,
No? Yes.
What?
He died of natural causes.
Yes, he did. He was in exile. He died pretty young. He died of a broken heart. No, I shouldn't say that.
Nah.
He was just so sad. He used to be emperor and you know, the leader of France.
Like,
he was all alone.
Like Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar.
He was killed.
Yeah, but he didn't die of natural
I know.
causes.
He died of many unnatural causes.
I would just compare Napoleon and Caesar because they were both rulers and
Okay.
and they both died like different.
Now again, you have to remember, so one of the things about this war that was extra terrible, and one of the reasons why so many young men were killed is that this was a new style of war. This technology was so new that they didn't know how to fight it. So people were facing machine guns and they were running at them still, charging. You know, charge! And what would happen if all these men
Seize them!
What would happen if they were fighting machine guns?
They would die.
They would die immediately.
Boo. Like that.
Immediately.
The bullets are strong and the bullets are penetrating the body.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, so when they see these tanks, this is a scene. This is a German soldier. This is a scene. Can you just do one right now?
No, we need to fall asleep. Oh, that looked nice. That looked nice, but I love it when it's like that.
Swap it.
Sound up. And again, this movie is, it really puts you in. It's immersive.
You something?
Yeah.
Remember how terrible and how scared these young men were? These men were like your age and not much older, maybe 18, maybe 20. I mean, of course, the generals were probably older, but. Ugh. And they were away from home, and they were cold, and they were dirty and scared, and all of the above, man.
So we're just watching right now? Okay. Guys, take a look. Eyes up.
But I think I remember this.
This is a whole new way of fighting that they did. Oh, I'm sorry. I would have killed
I
them.
just wanted to see.
Yeah. You guys see how they're at eye level in the ground?
Mm-hmm. Under the
Okay,
trench.
that's important.
This is like Call of Duty
Modern
Warfare.
Warfare.
Call of Duty WWE2. Warfare.
Well, don't get confused. This is World War I. So don't equate it with the game because that's a whole different style of fighting.
They asked them to say that.
I know, but I don't want you to get confused.
Look at the tank.
Yes. You can hear it coming.
I mean, that looks different between the tank we have today.
Music in this movie is very good too.
Yes. I'm gonna watch World War III, I think.
Put it on movie theater volume.
What are the guns doing to the tank? Anything? No.
It's made of bulletproof.
Didn't even know to get down.
So foggy. one day.
And in between them is no man's land, where no one's supposed to be.
Oh, Miss Cohen went over the flashlight.
Maybe she should, yeah.
Damn. It's Hitler.
Hitler is World War II. This is not World War II. This is World War I. That's
The
why
general.
don't get confused, guys.
The general.
Just a general, just hearing what's going on.
Nah, that thing is gonna fall.
They've never dealt with this before. They don't know. They don't get it.
Damn.
They don't understand what this is.
Nah, they getting run over. He's flipping. What? I thought it was gonna fall.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the scenes. Let's see the behind the scenes.
That's behind the scenes.
So
Yeah, yeah, and it was,
in German.
we'll talk about it, but that's right. They also end up getting very sick. Their good friends would be dead right next to them, and they would just leave them there. They would have to leave them there. Ugh.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Quiet on the bus.
Yes, it's a book. I read this in high school, this book. It's a very good book. All right, so what we're gonna try to do is,
Make our own.
we're gonna, if this takes us 2 days, it's fine. I want to count this as a project.
Let's go.
You have, this is like an organizer sheet. And you have these are the 4 main parts of World War I, right? Industrialization, total war, technological developments, and trench warfare. These are the big parts, right? This is page 2. So what we're gonna do is, the goal is to go through each page. Each of those squares has a page. So we can go through and work on it.
You mean work on it or read them?
Well, we're gonna do both.
We're gonna work
There
our way
are
through the
questions
chapter.
on the page with the squares, there are questions.
Miss, you know what you have done.
Say that again?
You added Gunther's country
Gunther, yes.
is Germany.
Mhm.
I need some H2O, miss.
What?
I need some like water.
Of course.
Like the warm made me get thirsty. The thing that I made me
Thirsty? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's why they say war is hell. War is, even though, war is different now, it's still terrible, it's still scary, it's still deadly.
It's not scary.
War is not scary?
You
No.
wanna go?
Yeah.
Go.
No. If I actually want to like be in there, I will be in there.
We're very fortunate. That
I'm not. My stepdad was a
we're
soldier.
far away. That generally speaking right now, no one bombs us. In World War
They were
I,
not scared.
no one comes here and bombs us. In World War II, no one comes here and bombs us, right?
Mhm.
We're very fortunate. We have a big ocean between us and Europe.
What's up, Mama?
Oh, that's true.
Now that was crazy.
Let's go.
And the mainland, how about the mainland in New York?
Sorry.
We didn't have to worry about that until much later on with like 9/11. So we're not totally immune, but yes, we're going to have to be very thankful at this time that the war was not here. So industrialization, we talked about, on page 3, we talked about how,
Page 3.
Page 3.
right, how the industrial revolution changed many things. People were living on farms as much anymore, they moved to the cities, they were working in factories. And how, so were goods made much faster or slower now that they were in factories? Now that they're in factories. And also too, can we look at the second picture? Well, what are they making now? Besides just making clothes, what are they making in the first?
Missiles.
Exactly, missiles, tanks, and these are
Ammunition?
ammunitions, yes. And then in the second picture, there were only women. Why are there only women? Where are all the men?
Because they were at war.
All the men are at war.
Because back then there wasn't women rights, so like women had to look at families and boys.
Yes, that's right. You had your role based on your gender. You were a woman or a young woman, you did this, you were a man, you went to war, and that was it. That was it.
So you didn't have a choice.
Nah.
Not really.
So you
Like if you were, it was, in World War I, in World War II, there might be, I believe there are some women who end up doing fighter jets and things like that, and airplanes. But this is World War I, so as far as I know, there were not women fighting in any way.
So like your country goes and pick up the war. They make you think about going fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, and a lot of these people too. I mean, a lot of the men, like they wanted to fight. They wanted to fight for their country. They wanted to. It was looked down upon. Oh, if you're staying home, why are you staying home? Everyone else is fighting and dying. Everyone else is losing their sons. You should be doing the same thing, right or wrong. But
It's not me.
yeah, I mean, I would be so heartbroken if I had a child and he made them go to war.
But
I'd be
is this
scared every
the
day.
lost generation? Is that World War I?
Yes.
Right?
Well, you check to see that.
I'm sure, but the moms don't know if you're a medic or you're a nurse or you're
You
a
think
soldier.
in worker, do you think that they're gonna not shoot you because you're a medic?
They're not
Yeah.
supposed to. They're not supposed to. After this,
But it's, unless someone's risking their like job or something.
sure, of course they are.
They
And
don't
usually medics wear like a big, like a red cross right on there. So
Mhm.
it's like,
No one cares. Might care.
you know, accidents happen too. I mean, sometimes even America makes mistakes and we bomb people we shouldn't be bombing. Kill civilians by accident.
No one's is the best. No one in this country, in this world.
This is uncivilian.
Yes, I'm a
Me
civilian.
too.
And again, sometimes during wars, people, sometimes the soldiers in other countries, like in Vietnam, the soldiers stopped wearing
Yes.
uniform, so then you couldn't
regular
tell.
people.
So if I was an American soldier and I was looking at you guys, I was like, oh, I don't know, they're wearing regular clothes. Are they soldiers pretending to be civilians, or are they really civilians? It gets tricky, it's very tricky. Right, let's get to World War I again.
Yeah.
Yes, on my apologies.
We cannot disrespect them like that.
No, you're right.
So
As you Google.
As you Google,
As you Google.
So
so let's look at the chart. We have the chart, we have Germany, let's look at this chart. All right, Britain is red, Germany is blue.
why does it always every time
Britain.
we get the newspaper papers copies while the board gets the best
Oh.
copy.
So over the years, it all grew and got bigger, right? Everyone was making more stuff in their countries. So let's see the questions. Let's see the questions that go on page 2.
Yeah.
How did industrialization in Europe affect the production of goods needed for World War I?
Right.
How did the industrialization, how did all of that machinery and factories affect the production of goods? Yes, of course. Was it faster or slower in the production of goods?
faster.
Faster.
Yes.
So you could say it's faster, it speeded it up.
It was faster and it was heated up.
Do we think what they produced changed? as
Oh,
well?
yes, that's a good one.
And it was heated up.
It
It
was.
was speeded up, yeah.
Yeah.
And also too, Ms. Green said what they made, what were they now making?
Missile.
Missiles, very good.
Ammunition, but that goes with the first one, honey.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
it was,
that's still the first one.
no, I don't need more space. I'm gonna erase all this.
Write it neat.
6:33. 8:33.
6:30.
We're going back in time. Groundhog's Day. And also too, the home front, number 2 is gonna talk about the home front.
Just, I think it's 10 minutes. 11 minutes.
Okay.
Is that about it?
Sure. But on that page, we gotta answer all the questions on this page though. We have one more for this one. So they wanna know how is it different on the home front? So remember, while everyone was fighting in these areas, like we just saw, right? They were doing trench warfare, they were in those dirty, scary, wet trenches, people were home. They're, say the older people were home, the women were home, right? So they had to keep things going. They were working as they could. They were working. They were also rationing food, which meant like they were saving and trying to eat less. so they could save it for the soldiers. And writing letters. People used to write a lot of letters, as much as they could, to their loved ones, soldiers. The girlfriends would write. And it's amazing to think that they did usually get them.
Oh, they were writing letters. So.
Write love letters.
What did you say? Yes?
Yeah.
What did you say?
That it was the staff production.
Yes, all of these.
Medical warfare.
Kevin, that's Kevin.
Oh, so.
And they started making
Yeah.
everything. And the military equipment.
How's it going?
People's jobs changed.
Very
People
good.
had to- I wonder if people who were retired had to come out.
Oh, that's
retirement,
interesting.
go back to work.
In order to retire, you have to be a veteran.
No, you can retire from that job.
How about like when women have babies, right, and like never lets them.
Well, what do you think? Do you think a lot of babies were being born at this time?
No.
No.
Because of the war.
Oh, the war. The men were either fighting or dying, or both. They would fight and then they would
So
die.
how did that change families? What did that do to women then? They
No,
were
yeah.
single moms, right, too? A lot of,
Yeah, if your husband, your young husband, or whatever, yes, yeah.
right?
Now you're alone raising these whippersnappers.
So, well, during the day let's say 50-year-old man go fight the war.
No, I don't think so. They wouldn't make older men go to war.
I don't think, was there a draft?
I don't think there was a draft. And they also changed, at this war, there were, believe it or not, there are rules of engagement or war rules and laws. At this time, there was not. We're gonna get into some of those weapons, and you'll see that there were not rules. But because this was such a terrible
There was no
war,
rules.
with this new technology, that they do end up having rules of war, which you're supposed to follow as a country, and not all countries follow them. But even today,
But this was like the beginning, is that what they call it, the Great War, Total War? Because
yeah.
it went from like the revolution, right? Where they were like in lines and shooting, like that first painting that we saw on horseback, like single shot. Now these guys are fighting in trenches, in mud. They're just being crushed by weapons and tanks, and there was never war like
And
this.
mentally crushed. It's also
Yeah.
very,
It was the first time we ever saw
You
this.
always think
Yeah.
he's gonna die, and everyone's dying around you.
This was we're used to it. This is not unusual to us, but this was
That's true.
totally different to them. So, it's fascinating.
Yeah. And I remember one of the first scenes in that movie is when that young kid enlists. And he goes,
He's all gung ho.
he's very gung ho with his friends, and he goes and he gets his uniform. But he's like, oh, it has someone else's name in it. This isn't for me.
Oh.
And he gives it back to the person in charge, and all he does, he rips it out. And then there's a whole pile. So these are a dead soldier's uniform. That
Oh,
they're just, beside.
Isn't that kind of disrespectful?
There's just a whole pile.
Isn't that kind of disrespectful?
My hands are so soft.
I mean, it is, but what are you gonna do?
times were hard.
Yeah. And yeah, the
Well,
people in
America,
charge
I'm
started the
gay.
war. And again, the people in charge who started the war, are they fighting? Are their children fighting?
No.
This-
No. They're safe, that's right. These are kids who mostly grew up on farms, and they don't really even know how to hold a gun, never mind shoot it or whatever, yeah, just. So again, this is also, all right, so let's see, are we ready for? I don't know, should we look at some trench foot?
Ooh.
Yes, I heard of that.
Let's look at some, since we're talking about it.
Uh,
I wanna show this. Again, so besides just being scared all the time and hearing screaming and hearing bombs and not getting any sleep and everything's wet, because again, if you dig a trench, there's nowhere for the water to go to. When it rains,
You cannot hide.
you cannot hide, exactly.
Do you guys get what trenches are? Do we understand what trenches are?
Mhm.
Yes? Yes? 100% yes?
Wait, the hood?
They're like
No.
giant.
There's no
holes.
hood in here.
Trenches are channels that they dug into
Oh.
how they were shooting, and they were shooting eye level, they were standing in a trench. So it's this narrow passageway
Yeah.
where they basically lived
Yes.
while they fought.
They ate. I don't know where they went to the bathroom.
I think they went to the
At some
bathroom.
end, yeah, I think they picked an area of the trench, and then it's where all the men would do number one, number two.
Mhm.
You know, no
We don't-
flushing,
we don't
no
need to say it.
that.
Wet. So like as it's raining, where does water go?
Into the drain.
Right?
Yes.
And where does heavy things sink? Like if there is some type of poison gas, you think it's gonna go in there? Probably. So trench foot is what happened because your feet were always wet.
Always.
Like athlete's foot,
Ah.
like fungus, because you get it in the showers and stuff like that from sweaty shoes and sweaty socks.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's much worse. I mean,
It's-
athlete's foot won't kill you
it's
or
the regular
rot your feet off.
yeah, but trench foot is 1,000 times worse and can kill you.
Yeah. Because if the infection doesn't get fixed,
You
Or
get
or
septic
cured.
something like that.
yeah, it'll spread and even if you manage to get home.
It's really graphic, guys. So
It is graphic, yes.
be aware. There's a disclaimer in this
Thank you
video.
for the word.
Yeah, so let's see, like again, so they're trying to,
There's a disclaimer.
yes.
But
They're
this was
trying
also-
to help, see the men with the bandaged feet, they're holding them, carrying them, because they don't want them to get even worse in their feet, because it's impossible to stay dry. You just can't stay dry, and you ever get wet, and like, it's just such an uncomfortable feeling.
Like today in the rain, when you got, let's say you guys got wet on your way to school, isn't it crappy feeling like in wet sweats all day?
Yeah.
Like it's a crappy feeling.
What shoes? So some of them tried to make it a little higher, so to keep their feet out of the muck, but. And just look, it just.
Say it again. Oh, good, you're not coughing?
I took 3 of them.
Ah.
So look, and you see how much water he's walking in? And again, so what happens, you can say, oh, just leave the trench. What's gonna happen if you leave the trench and get out?
You're gonna die.
You're gonna die. The other side is gonna see you and shoot you in the head.
Run too much and like,
It's when you have sweaty, like you have
Yeah.
wet socks and
I'll
stuff.
take these for example, David Garland.
Yeah, got it, yeah, he's a runner. But that's like a fungal infection, that can be treated. This, once it infected your feet, it was very hard to treat because where were you gonna
Yeah.
go? You were still fighting,
You were
so,
fighting, you couldn't get dry.
yeah.
And I believe that someone told us that they only had, 2 pairs of socks.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they would do their best to keep the one on their feet, of course, and then they would try to keep,
It high up on your.
high up, yeah, and so they would stay dry. But again, it's just, when you're always outside, it's very hard to do that. Oh, I'm not finding good pictures. Well, it might start like this. You know, it might start with sores and white. You see this one? Like this one.
Yeah, but
But
it-
eventually it's gonna,
goes,
it turns black, and once it's black,
oh, like that, look at the one in the center, see the black foot?
oh, sorry. It doesn't really listen to me when I have it plugged in.
It's so graphic that Google doesn't want to show us.
I
It's
know,
crazy.
they're like, it's too early to show
Oh
you,
my
yeah,
God,
that
that
one.
one is worse.
Oh, these 2 are good.
See the one, that black one on the, it's
On the
like,
left.
on the
these
left,
two.
see, there, oh god, the one underneath it.
Oh my God.
See, do you see how mutilated the foot is? Yeah.
So gross, I can't stop.
I couldn't let it go.
Oh, this is a good one. Oh,
Disgusting. Oh my God, look at that one.
Come on, you guys aren't watching the gross feet, come on.
Look at that one, there's nothing right there.
no. World War I. Remember, World War I, trench warfare and trench foot. World War I.
My God, missing like 2 toes.
Yes,
Oh my God.
yep,
Ah.
yeah,
Why you just picking at me?
AK.
Oh, my back, my hand.
What time is it, Christian? Do you have any time?
It's 8:44. My hand is 8:44.
Hi. Thank you. That's not even a new song, that's an old song. Thank you.
Let's see if we could do one more. Which one do you wanna do next?
Yes, I did the technology.
All right, let's do that one.
I believe virtually.
Good.
So you wanna go over it as a group?
Okay, now let's go over technological warfare. Technological development. Describe 3 technological developments in the world warfare.
So I feel like for one, I put tanks, and then for 2, I put airplanes,
Okay.
3 submarines.
So
Yeah.
you know what Christian just said? Not only is he right, but he just made the point that now you're not safe anywhere. Now there are bombs coming from the sky.
Tower, the
Now there are
balloon,
tanks on land. And now what's in the water that you can't see?
submarine.
Submarines
There's-
shooting at boats. that
There's
you
those
can't see.
balloon things on the top.
Oh, blimps? Blimps?
No, it's like
I
a
was talking about the,
one time it went on fire.
Oh, the Heidelberg.
It's a balloon. It's like a balloon that
Yes. Hildenberg. Something like that.
balloon
Yes.
ship. I think.
Yes. Oh, it was filled with helium, which is very, very flammable, yes.
One time I remember one time
It was filled with?
there's sometime in history that there was a fire that
Yes.
exploded on that and
The
ended.
Hindenburg.
Hindenburg,
The
thank
Hindenburg.
you. Aw.
All right, so for that one, yes, like Christian said.
Number 2.
Well, like logic's number 5, he went down this way. See how it says number 5?
Yeah, number 2.
We did number 2. How did this just,
You wrote letters, their responsibilities at home had to change.
she had to go to work.
Yeah.
Women had to go to work.
I'm gonna put number 1 in virtually.
On which one?
Number 1. No, industrial.
Oh, okay, I didn't,
It got faster.
faster. Goods were made faster, and they also started making missiles and other things. Tomorrow, I signed this up, I'm hoping Miss Katie comes tomorrow morning.
Excuse me.
Remember the English
Oh, no.
woman?
The British one.
Yes, the British woman, yes, that came last year. I put it in for period 1, I don't know. I don't know if she gets here this early, but it was on the chart. It was on like, the schedule.
We shall see.
Holy
We
cows.
shall see with no time.
47.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna finish what I'm doing.
What's funny?
Indeed.
We'll finish this tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Now I really want to watch that movie. That's a newer.
It's on Netflix, I
That's
think.
a newer version.
Yes, yes, it is.
That's very good.
Thank you for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for the.
You're very welcome. I hope they help. Feel better? Which one did you take? Well, take one different one.
I'm out.
Thank you. I'm glad. Bye, everybody.
Have a good day, Miss.
See y'all later or tomorrow. And hopefully in the rain.
Have a good day.